Okay, welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. I am Patricia LaPena. We've all probably met before. You know who I am. But just before we get started, I also want to give a shout out to Sue Warner, who is also our Reclaim Vitality team. My sister Joanne is out boating out in the wild, wild west out there with no internet, so won't be able to join us today, but also a big part of our Reclaim Vitality team.
I'm not
So
getting the video.
you're not seeing us, Denise?
It should be beside the audio with that looks like a little microphone flashing. There's a video there.
There we go. So everybody is muted. Sue, I'll just get you to mute as well, and we will get started. My view, I'm just going to put back to speaker. Okay. So welcome. Hello, everyone. I am Patricia LaPena, and we are going to get started. I wanted to showcase the fact that we have actually changed the name to the Vitality Conversations. And I really feel like that name reflects what we're trying to do here at Reclaim Vitality. It's just really a good, when we think about vitality, we're thinking about health. But what we're actually more involving is our energy, our confidence, purpose, connection, reinvention, and creating a next chapter that feels meaningful and alive. And so many women, I believe, they get to this stage of their life. They're 60 plus, 60, 70, 80, 90. And you're starting to ask deeper questions. What do I want now? Is it too late to dream again? What have I put on hold? How do I feel? How can I feel more like myself? We've spent a lifetime with, helping our children, our parents, our spouses, our friends, and bosses, everything. But it's time for us now. And so these conversations are meant to inspire those questions, open new possibilities, maybe, even just get an idea of something new, something that sparks you, lights you up. But it reminds us also that we are not finished being. Tonight's topic is about reinventing yourself for this next chapter. And we are thrilled. I'm thrilled, and I know all of you will be thrilled to to know her a little bit more. But our guest speaker tonight is Sharon Mason. And let me tell you a little bit about Sharon Mason. First off, she's had a lifetime of reinventing herself at any age. And she has begun her steps have been in the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. She's been in theater. She's been in TV. She's been on film. She's been a teacher, a counselor. She's ran marathons. She most recently has been awarded an international award-winning realtor, but she's got a lifetime of being a realtor. And even more recent, when she was 79 years old, she became an Amazon bestseller author for her book, For the Love of Real Estate, Tales from the Trenches. And she'll maybe talk a little bit more about that. But I also say she is just getting started now with that reinvention as an author. So please, everyone, please welcome my friend, Sharon Mason.
Oh, thank you so much, Patricia. God, for a minute there, I wonder who she was talking about. Thank you for your very kind words, my dear friend. And this is really fun. Patricia and I often have great conversations about all kinds of stuff. So now you're, the fly on the wall, hearing what we talk about. Yeah, that's great. And just want to say about Patricia and Joanne and Sue, you guys have just came up with a wonderful idea here. This is something that people just, need, like women. So many just need something to latch onto, community, a positive community like this. And when Patricia asked me to come on board, I was worried that I just didn't have enough time. I'm so busy. I wouldn't have time. But now I just love so much. I can't wait to see what everybody's talking about and what they're saying. And no, I almost every day I love getting on there and making some kind of a comment, because it sort of takes you inside yourself. You have to go back in there and think about something, and it can give you a real little boost to do that. So I just want to really recognize what a huge contribution you're making.
Well, thank you, Sharon. We love it that you're there as well. And for everyone who's a member of Reclaim Vitality, just being in there, engaging, and there's great questions that we're asking, and just building a community, right?
Yeah.
Sharon, usually I ask a couple questions at the end of the podcast, but I feel like we've kind of touched the surface about vitality. So I want to ask this question to you first, and we have another question at the end. But what does vitality mean to you?
Oh, vitality. Well, to me, vitality and being vital, it means being excited about your life, excited about the future, excited about what's going on, excited about the plans you're making, and that, to me, that's pretty much it. Because as we get older, we've had all these stereotypes given to us when we were younger. We've had and my grandmothers, for example, they were very much the little old ladies, and even when they were younger, they were. Back in the day, they used to think that if if you were 40, you had to cut your hair short, and you had to wear black, or like they just had all these ideas about it that got taught to us through our parents, our grandparents, through the media, and it just, so all these expectations. So to fight against the stereotype is a worthy battle. It's an extremely worthy battle, and I have engaged in that battle. And one of the main ways I've done it is denial. That I just say, no, I'm in denial. I'm not going there. Not going. Sorry. And so that's kind of a funny way of looking at it, but
No,
that's right.
It's so true, though. When you think about when I was really young, I honestly believed that once you got married, like as a young kid looking at adults, once you got married, women had to cut their hair short. I truly believe that. And if you were not married, you still got to have long hair. And so clearly I didn't follow that rule, being that I have long hair. But that's, yeah, it's funny how those different things that you were led to believe when you were younger. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I want I want to just Sharon and we spent a bit of time a few days ago talking about what we're going to talk about today, but you had something that happened, or you listened to, you heard a talk, and it created a turning point for you. I think it was a psychologist that you heard speak to you, but it hit you hard, and it really gave a pivotal moment for you. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yeah, sure. I sure can. This was, I think I was in my early 40s, and this was on the radio. And I think it was a psychiatrist who was being interviewed, and they were talking about the topic of death, which is a topic that a lot of people don't even want to talk about. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to prepare for it. They're just talk about being in denial. And so he was saying that if you can have something that they call death awareness, you are aware that this is a finite timeline here. You are aware that there is going to be an end to it. Then it can serve you very well to make life sweeter, to make the moments in life more meaningful, and to actually give you more of an experience of living. Yeah. So I thought, wow, because I realized, and I think young people, they don't think they're ever going to die. They don't think they're ever going to get old. Well, hang on, kiddo, because it's coming. If you're lucky, you're lucky. I'm 83 now, and I got to tell you that maybe I'm just surprised I lived so long. I don't know. But, you know, it happens to all of us. And, you know, so I thought that was a really valuable point that they made about that. And, 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 and because I really wasn't thinking about that this is a terminal thing, you know, like life, the terminal illness, you know, whatever you want to call it. But that woke me up. That was like a real pivotal moment for me. And I went, wow, yeah, I've got stuff I want to do. But I've got at least 20 years, which seems like a lot when you're in your early 40s. But I had another wake-up call too, Patricia. 5.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And, you know, the thing is, when you hear a diagnosis like that, and at the time I had no idea what stage it was, blessedly, we caught it so early that the doctor said it wasn't even stage 1 yet. So, you know, it was a total blessing to find that out. But wow, talk about a wake-up call. Talk about a giant smack in the face wake-up call, because you like, my goodness, I am vulnerable.
Yes.
I am vulnerable, and you know, this is happening. So I really found that to be very I found that to be very powerful I changed a lot of things about my life.
Right. So at 40 and then just 5 years ago. So again, an opportunity to reinvent yourself. And I think you're speaking really about true life. Every woman here has maybe not themselves been diagnosed, but we've had friends that have been diagnosed, or our spouse has been diagnosed, or, you know, it's just more relevant, obviously, as we've gotten older. We've lost our loved ones. You know, it's just so real for us. And if not then, when? I want to say to take it as a wake-up call, to take those types of things and have a time where maybe you can reflect and reinvent. And what is it that you want to do? So you had some nuggets, or you have some steps that you kind of live by now regarding all of these reinventions and pivotal moments. Um, and if I cut you off too soon about those pivotal moments, finish that up. But you could talk about those 3 steps.
Oh, I will. You know, one of the things I believe is that it's important to develop a philosophy for your life that works for you. And these are some points in my philosophy that give me a good outline of how I want to go forward. Number 1, never give up. You know, when I see people who have given up, and you know, it's so sad. It's so sad. Like they've never had an opportunity to have this experience of realizing that, you know, life doesn't have to obey the stereotypes. We don't have to. We can break all the rules. Well,
Yes.
Rules were probably made to be broken anyway. But you know, we can definitely do that, and that's a big one for me. And number 2 is what we call the rocking chair test. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to spend your last days on earth in a rocking chair. They may be spent, you know, in bed, or they may be, I don't know where, but it's the idea of living your life so that you're not left at the end with a bunch of regrets. And the philosophy says that I'd rather be in my rocking chair saying, at the end of life, saying, I'm glad I did, rather than I wish I had. And so those, you know, that to me just really, really sums it all up. And the other one is, there's a myth out there that time flies by. I don't experience that at all. And when people say, oh, life is short, I always say, not for me. Life is long. I say life is long. And the reason I say life is long is because that's how I don't experience time flying by. And I'm so blessed. And I heard a speaker talk about recently the whole business about how a lot of people either spend their time in the past thinking about the past, or they spend a lot of time thinking / worrying about the future. And they were saying that when you're thinking about the past, a lot of the time it can produce depression. And when you're thinking about the future, a lot of time it can produce anxiety. And so how do we get away from all that stuff? And one of the ways is through mindfulness. And mindfulness is very important to me. And I've learned quite a bit about it. You know, it's like being fully present in every second and every moment of your life. And I see people going, yeah, it's so important to be really present with someone, fully present with a dog that you're petting, fully present with enjoying the beautiful color of a flower, like, and really soaking that experience in, because that is that in that moment, it's our life.
Yes.
And, you know, so I just really, I just really like to do that. And I just like to slow everything down all the time. And with my clients, you know, slow it all down. Doesn't have to happen yesterday. We got all the time in the world. And so those are three of the points in my philosophy that I kind of hang on to those.
I love it. So never give up, the rocking chair test, and then number 3 is life is long. I just wanted to go back to number 2 because when you told me this before, I really, there was a pivotal moment for me as well. It's kind of, it wasn't my rocking chair test. However, I had taken my father out for a Father's Day lunch, and I was probably around 24, 25, which meant like he was 36 when I was born. So, you know, he was, getting close to 60 if he wasn't already. And I just remember that lunch. It was the first time I'd ever been one-on-one with my dad. For all the Father's Days before, mom was there, siblings were there. There was like, it was an event, right? And it was a perfect time for him and I to get to know each other a little bit more. But he told me story after story, and it was, oh, I wish I had done that for your mother. I always wanted to have this, or go on this trip, or buy this. And I remember leaving that lunch going, oh my heavens, I do not want to have those types of regrets or that many regrets when I get older. And I've remembered that my whole life. But back then, for him, and I'm sure a lot of people, there was no resources for him to have a wake up call, to have a support system. There was no buddies he was hanging around with going, hey, George, why don't you try this? Why don't you go back to school? Why don't you, think about your dream and follow it in any way, shape, or form? There was just nothing that he could do at that time. So, with all due respect and love for my father, I still do not want to live my life with regret as well. So that is such a big thing, that rocking chair test. Take it today, sit in a chair and go, I don't want to have regrets. What am I missing? What do I need to do? What do I need to accomplish before that bucket list? We had that question in the membership recently, the bucket list, like what is it that we still want to have do? And just about your number 3, I think you have a couple more things you want to talk about that, but just in around conversations, I think we go back and forth. So many people are not even present when we're talking to someone. We're always just thinking about how we're going to respond to someone based on our stuff, instead of deep dive into being present for whatever story is being had from who you're with. So I love all that. But you do a couple other things around how life is long, how you prolong it, how you stretch it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing that's really has helped me a lot, which I took up seriously after I was diagnosed, is meditation. And I've been working with meditation for quite a while now, and it's just a beautiful thing for me. And as I was talking about slowing everything down, that's really helped me with that, because it does, you gain so much perspective by going deep and just being with yourself, just being. not doing, just being with yourself on a deep level. And that's really helped me with mindfulness. Because, we all have monkey brain. And how do you calm your brain down and just have it, think, be empty for a bit if you can.
Yeah.
That's a very lovely experience to work for. And it's never perfect. And it can never be perfect at any of this stuff. But it's the trying that really makes a huge difference, because we all have things we want to do, and we all need, if we want to do them, we need to believe in ourselves. And unfortunately, many of us have had many messages given to us that do not promote confidence in going forward with some of the dreams, some of the things that we want to do. So it's really important to keep our dreams alive at any age, no matter what they are. And Denise, I loved what you posted, about your bucket list. I really loved that, because you said, keep walking around the block and be cognitively good. I'm with you, lady. I just think that really hit the nail on the head for me. Yeah. So my fellow octogenarian here in this group. Yeah. So for sure. And I think, the other thing that this all leads to is, when we do leave this planet, what are we leaving? It's talking about legacy, which is a huge concept. It's a huge word. And legacy is something to really put on your menu, for what it is. And that will be great. So, just in closing, I just want to mention, there's kind of a formula that I also have learned. I belong to this online organization, Mind Valley. I don't know if anybody is involved with Mind Valley.
Yeah,
we gotta love Mind Valley. And it was Vishen Lakhiani who I learned this from. A wonderful program, a wonderful teacher, and it's a 3 MIQ. It's the 3 most important questions. And
stop for a sec. So everybody, if you have a pen and paper, I really want you to write these 3 things down. Good for you, Sue. The 3 points that Sharon's going to talk about right now.
Yeah. The 3 MIQ is number 1. What do I want to experience in the next part of my life? Doesn't have to be just one thing. When I started writing these down, I had a huge long list. And just brainstorm with yourself and just let it out. And the second one is, what do I need to stop doing or start doing to make it so?
Mm.
And number 3 is, what is my contribution? What do I want to contribute? And those are just brilliant questions. And that's where our legacy comes in, is what we contribute.
Absolutely. I love it. And so I will say that we will have another opportunity to talk about those 3 things. I was going to say a little bit later, but I'll say it now for everyone here. Sharon is going to come back on the 27th at 6 p.m. for all of our community members. And we're going to maybe talk a little bit more about that, but we can do a Q&A. So it'll be a little bit more intimate conversation for everybody to be a part of. But those 3 things, when you're talking about reinventing yourself, understanding what it is that you want, right? Thinking about where you're going and what is that legacy you want to leave behind. So your contribution. So we'll talk about that. So before we do close up, I have one quick question for you, Sharon. And that is, we're talking about reinvention. What is the one thing for all of our audience here and for anyone who will see the recording in the future? What is the one thing that you can recommend for our audience to do, their first step for reinvention?
Breathe life back into your dreams. Yeah. The dreams are there. And when we fulfill them at this point in our life, they may be fulfilled in a little bit of a different way, but you can have the experience that you've dreamed of. And what do you have to stop doing, and what do you have to start doing to make it so? That's the reality check right there.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So just because we're going to be respectful of everybody's time, just in closing, reclaim vitality. It's my labor of love, obviously, but it's our community of like-minded women who we all come together for inspiration, connection, encouragement, tools for a healthier life. Right now, we have the 28-day reset course. I know a few of you are taking that. But these opportunities for these vitality conversations, and they're usually going to be around purpose and next chapter possibilities. And honestly, ladies, we are just getting started around all that. Sharon is going to be joining us again. We'll put out an email for everybody for Monday night, the 27th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tracy, if that's okay. And it's going to be an exclusive for members only. So just a little plug, if you are not at this moment a member of our community, Sue has put in the links of how you can get to us and other means. We have the link to the website. You can join us there. We have an assessment to just kind of get a taste of what we're all about before you even join. We have our Facebook page there. We have our Instagram page there. We have the YouTube, which this recording will be on our YouTube, and we'll let everybody know when that's up and running as well. And so just with all of that, thanks, Sue, for everything you do within our community. Thanks, ladies, for just being a part. And Sharon, you are such a blessing. I just want to thank you so much for just being a part of our community, but for being a friend. We've known each other for years, and you just bring so much sage, wisdom, joy, and blessing to us all. Thank you. And if you can't unmute and give us a clap, I'll do it for you.
Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Sharon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank
Nice to see
you.
everybody. And
Nice to see everyone.
Nice to see everyone. Good night. Good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody. Yeah.